most these sheeple, they move like clones. That's why I be on my own. My mama thought I was a joke, but Miss Badu told me out, and I know it, you can't tell me nothing else. That's why every beat I'm on is water and I might go bells. Me and my dog see like kings, but we be working just like slaves. Made it out of my hood, I deserve some accolades. So I need more than kudos in a fight, cause I went from sidelines to the limelight, and I shine bright, ice cold boys Klondike. Never move with white, this ain't blindside. Finite, but you feel the spirit, whole flow shining like soul glow. Every lyric skin cocoa, so most popo spirit. Not like Rondo, all my clothes when I pivot.
Most these sheeple move like clones.
Move like clothes.
That's why I be on my own.
See, I be on my own.
Mama thought I was a show.
I was a joke.
Miss Badu told me I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Miss Badu told me I'm.
See, and I know it, you can't tell me nothing else. That's why every beat I'm on is water and I might go felt. Me and my doggy like kings, but we be working just like slaves. I done made it out of my hood, I deserve some accolades. Say, yeah,
Most these sheeple move like clones.
move like clothes.
That's why I be on my
See,
own.
I be on my own.
Mama thought I was a joke.
I was a
Miss
joke.
Badu told me I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Miss Badu told me I'm.
Ooh, see, most these sheeple, they move like clones. That's why I be on my own. My mama, she thought I was a joke, but Miss Badu told me I'm dope. I got receipts to prove it.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everybody. So good to see you. It's a blessing to be here for this momentous occasion. I want to welcome you to the 2022 Together Chicago Education Fund or Friend Raiser. Yeah, it's a blessing to get together with folks that are very much interested in helping our young people move forward. Now, this is what I've found. It's one thing for you to do something as an individual, but it's another thing for us to do something. When you work with other people, great impact can happen. Reminds me of the cartoon with Peanuts. Anybody remember the Peanuts cartoon? Okay, just me and the one lady. God bless you. And so Charlie Brown had an antagonist named Lucy. And so Charlie was sort of teasing her one day and said, you know what, Lucy, I'm tired of you picking on me. It's nothing you can really do to me. Nothing you can do to really harm me. And all she did was lift one finger. He said, what are you going to do with that one finger? She said, well, one finger I can't do too much. But when I put all my fingers together, it becomes a weapon of mass destruction. Well, we're not calling you to mass destruction tonight, but we are calling you to mass unity. You're joining our circle of friends, and what a blessing it is to have people from the south side, from the west side, from the north side, the east side. Do I have anybody from Chicago in here tonight? We're thrilled to have you. Thank you so much for all you do to help our children. It's something powerful about friends. friends encourage you. They push you forward. They ignite you. They cause you to hear the truth, sometimes in ways you don't want to hear it, and yet they are the ones that bring stability and hope and healing to situations. So if you love children and you want to see real big impact, education impact in Chicago, will you make some noise right now? Come on, let's make some noise. Again, we're thrilled to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. This time I want to introduce a dear friend. This gentleman got together with a businessman named Dillon, who's here tonight, and we'll probably see him at some point later on, and I'm grateful for him. They got together and they said, you know what, this violence in Chicago is absolutely horrific, and there's got to be something we can do. And so they formed an organization called Together Chicago, and I'm proud to be a part of that organization. And so dealing with the pillars that are there, one of them is education, one is business opportunities, violence reduction, and justice. When you think of what this gentleman has done, along with Dillon and the team, there's been tremendous growth. Those two went to 30 staff members, and throughout the city of Chicago, there is an impact that is God-ordained and God-inspired. My friend is a father, he's a husband, he's a leader, he's a man of integrity. I'm proud to call him my friend. Help me to welcome at this time Pastor Michael Allen.
Well, God bless you, Brother Roy Patterson. It is my privilege to be your friend as well and colleague in this great work. And thank you to all of you who are here this evening. What a delight. We're excited and delighted to have each and every one of you in this room. Thank you so much for your support, your prayers, your interest in learning more about Together Chicago and joining us in this great mission here in this great city. And Dave, God bless you. Just say hello, wave your hand. That's my co-founder, Dillon, in the room tonight. And it is a privilege. And then my wife and daughter is right here. They're both right here. Say hello. Always good to have them along as well. Well, Together Chicago is now 5 years old, and this is our 5th year, and God is doing so much in and through this great organization. I'm just going to take a few minutes to walk you through what we do and how we do what we do. And so you can see on your screen, we're really a collective impact organization. What we do, we read a paper from Stanford University all about collective impact. It basically says that no lasting transformation in history has ever happened without collective impact. That is, different entities, systems, organizations working together to solve a problem. So the police can't do it alone, government can't do it alone, churches can't do it alone, schools can't do it alone, business people can't do it alone. But what if we came together? What if we put our hands in together and said, we've got to do this? What resource do you have that we can collaborate together? I often tell people this story about the Great Chicago Fire. We all know that story, or at least we've heard of it. Imagine if the Great Chicago Fire was happening right now, and we looked outside these windows and we saw smoke coming from everywhere, and we realized the fire is spreading and it's coming for us in this room. Imagine if we ran outside and we're looking up and down the street wondering where to go, what to do, and I said, hey, Pastor Olu, are you from the north side or the south side? Because we need all the north siders to help put out this fire. Hey, Sean, are you Democrat or Republicans? Because we need all the Democrats to help put out this fire. Hey, Bishop, are you Baptist or Pentecostal? Because we need all the Baptists to put out this fire. Nobody asks stupid questions like that. Because the fire don't care. The fire don't care whether you're rich, poor, middle class, whether you're on the north side, south side, or west side. The fire is coming, and it's going to consume everything in its path. When bullets fly, they don't care. They don't care what race you are. They don't care what side of the city you are. They don't care whether you're Baptist or Pentecostal. Bullets don't have names. And so that's how we felt when we came together with Together Chicago, thinking about this violence. We didn't ask those foolish questions because the violence is coming for each and every one of us in every community. It's going to touch us in one way or another. And so we designed this collective impact model where we're a backbone support organization. There's continuous communication and collaboration, mutually reinforcing activities, shared measurement, and then a common agenda. And we do that across 5 different elements, or 5 different initiatives. So right there you'll see there's schools, churches, nonprofits, business, city. Just today, Dave and I were on a call with Doc Feuder, Bishop Peacher, with the city. How many of you heard about what happened in Millennium Park this weekend? Right? Flash mob, about 500 kids are out there. It's usually only a handful of kids that create the problem. Most of the kids are probably just having fun. But a handful of kids got arrested because they just got out of control. Well, would you believe that the city was on the call with us today, asking us to see if we can mobilize good and godly men to have a presence in the parks this summer to avoid foolishness like that, right? So when the city comes knocking on your door saying, can you help, because we don't think the police should be the only ones out there, and usually sometimes when the police are there, it amps things up. So what if men in the church stood up and got involved and said, we're going to help police our community and bring the fun? Exactly. Yeah. Why not? Let's go. Let's do this thing. So we're at the point where the city is actually coming to us and asking us to be involved because we are so well connected to churches and businesses and attorneys and schools, and on it goes. And so that is such an honor that we are invited to the table to be part of the solution and obviously not part of the problem. And so economic development, education, the justice centers. Alvin Bibbs is here. Where's the A train? He may be in the back because he's going to be speaking, I think, later on today. But Alvin Bibbs leads our gospel justice centers. We have about 16 or 18 gospel justice centers where we recruit attorneys, Christian attorneys, to help people solve civil issues before they become criminal issues. We set up shop in churches in high crime, high poverty neighborhoods, and they go to work to help people solve their problems. Incredible. We have violence reduction where we work with the Chicago police, going to visit gang members who are actively known shooters in the community. The police gives them a warning. We give them an offer of hope and help. And then we have wonderful people on our team to help them get out of the streets and into a positive direction, helping them to get their records sealed or expunged, helping them to get jobs, job training, education, all of those things. And then economic development is there, and you'll hear a lot more about the education initiative today. And so with all of that, Together Chicago, and you can see our staff here, we've grown, as Roy shared, beginning was just Dave and me, and we asked who, not what. Who's going to be on our team that can help us accomplish our goal and our dream to reduce this gun violence? And so God has put together a superstar, all-star team. And guess what? They're not all white people or black people or Hispanic people or Asian people, because what? We need everybody involved. And guess what? They're not all Baptists and Pentecostals or Catholic or Methodist, but they're from all different denominations. And they're not all Southsiders or Westsiders or Northsiders. They're from all over the city. It's amazing. And they're super gifted and talented in their own right in so many different aspects that we need. And so we thank God for our team, many of whom are here tonight. Speaking of the A train, there he is, comes walking in right now. He's belovedly called the A train, but his name is Alvin Bibbs, all right? The Reverend Alvin Bibbs Sr. And so, at any rate, that's our team, and we are so glad to have each and every one of them on our team. And we're so glad that you all are here to think about how you can continue to pray, support the work of Together Chicago. And so that's all I have for you right now. There are others that are coming on right now. And so, Roy, come on up and introduce our next person. God bless you. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Michael. Well, let me ask, how many educators are here tonight? Can I see your hand? Wow. Thank you so much for what you do. My dad, my uncle, my aunt served as teachers. Teaching really is in my blood, and what you do day in and day out absolutely matters. All right, so let's get into the heart of why we're here. I've got Diane Gibbs and Jarima Gorham. They're part of Together Chicago's education initiative. They're going to come out right now, and they're going to share some more insight into the educational plan and pattern of Together Chicago. Ladies, will you come out at this time? Let's welcome them, everybody.
I'm praying through my car, Lord. Go on, pour it till it
Here, and our friend, Mr. Allen here.
Is Michael Goggins in the house? Did he? Michael Goggins is one of the pastors here at Willow, and we just want to honor them for they are such great hosts and welcome us in their space tonight. And so I told Michael that I had a very special gift that I wanted to present to him, and I think Alvin has gone out to get him. So when he gets back in the room, I'll make the presentation. But in the meantime, you ladies go right ahead, okay?
All right, thanks. Thank you so much. We're just so excited for everybody to be here. And we're the education team. Our mission is we help the churches and other organizations adopt the schools to remove the barriers that disrupt a quality education for the Chicago students. We use the School Connect model to help churches and other organizations adopt schools. The SEL program has helped us offer, social, emotional, and mentor training to 383 adults this year. We train parents, school staff, and mentors from the schools and local colleges. These adults worked in the schools and homes to impact over 3,200 Chicagoland students this school year. Our 383 mentors and partners have taken part in more or one of the following initiatives this year. Our partners have mentored, and many of them have taken part in the social emotional learning and mentoring training. Some of our partners from schools and local colleges have offered tutoring and academic enrichment services during school and during out of school time hours. We're excited that the School Connect gives us a clear model to help support other churches and organizations adopting the schools. We use events like the Friendraiser to start the relationships, to even deepen them between the school and the organizations. With you being here tonight, this is just the beginning. You're going to be learning about our initiatives. You've taken the first step to be a part towards our school, building the support of the village to impact the Chicagoland schools and their families. As you take part in our future events, the organizations and school partnerships will become stronger, and Together Chicago here is to partner with you through this progress. For organizations, school leaders, and community members here today, we understand that many of you are already serving students and families well. Together, we can support the vision of school leaders and join their support village to accelerate making a positive impact on the culture of partner schools. We believe that across the 77 neighborhoods and beyond, that we are having an amazing opportunity to love our neighbors together. Thanks so much.
Hello, everybody. I'm super excited because I get to speak about the impact that we're able to make in these schools. And so I have the pleasure of talking to parents and talking to school leaders about what is the work actually doing in their classrooms and after school. Just so you know, this year alone, we have impacted 3,201 students. Also, we have worked with a total of 383 parents. That's in doing parent champion programs, also with mentoring, and also providing them with SEL, which we all know was huge this school year. And many of our parents, along with our students, expressed their need for it. We also conducted an impact survey, just so we can get some quantitative numbers, right, about how is our work really making a difference. And so from that survey, we had 100% reported a better school culture, because of Together Chicago. We had 83.3 that reported a greater academic success. So not only are we providing this SEL training, but they're seeing the impact in their grades as well. And 100% will continue to partner with us next school year. And also 91.7 have recommended us to other schools. And so we are excited to have you here so we can hopefully continue to partner with you. Whatever is best for us to do for kids, we want to make sure that we're translating that to you tonight. And so we actually have two stories, right? And one of the stories is from a school that you'll later hear from who will be singing for us. One of our impact stories comes from the Montessori School of Inglewood. Through Together Chicago, we have been able to have a positive impact on our students over the past couple of years. Unfortunately, the Montessori School of Inglewood has never had an after-school program that offered help with academics and social-emotional needs. And so we're excited that they're going to continue to be a partner. And then our second impact story comes from Donahue Elementary. The mentors, the interns, which you'll see tonight is helping us this evening, participating in the program have made a positive impact by helping to extinguish negative behavior and increasing positive behavior among students with some of the most challenges. We have observed a decrease in class removals and an increase in instruction time with the assistance of the mentors. We greatly appreciate their assistance in promoting social-emotional learning throughout the entire school building. So again, we are so glad that you're here, and we are excited about what's to come in the future.
Okay, great.
Brother Goggins, would you join me up here on the platform very briefly? We're just so grateful. Give him a hand as he comes up. Shortly after Together Chicago started, and we started looking for churches to come alongside and pray with us and support us, this brother here, representing the Great Willow Creek Church, he said, I'll do whatever you need me to do. We will do whatever you need us to do. And we're here to serve alongside Together Chicago. And so, Brother Michael, thank you for opening up the house tonight. We love you. And we offer you this token of our appreciation. Go ahead and open that up, if you would, please. Of course, this is an educational initiative that we're highlighting tonight, so we got him a book. It's a 5-pound book. What's the title of that book?
Black History.
Black History and...
An inclusive account of American history.
There you go. And we're so grateful for you and your support. This book should be in every public school in America. Actually, the city of New York just adopted this school for history in their school system. And we're praying and hoping it'll get into the Chicago school system. But it's a great, great book, and I know that it'll be a blessing to you. So thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we love you.
All right.
Thank you, sir. All right. Man, that presentation was amazing. 3,000 kids served and about 300 people trained. That's just, I mean, it is big. It's phenomenal. So I know I'm on staff with Together Chicago, but I'm still blown away by that. All right, let me move along quickly. We've got some folks in the room that we'd like to acknowledge. I mentioned David Dillon earlier. I don't know if he stood or not yet, but would you stand so everybody can see you? Let's show him some love. Co-founder of Together Chicago. We've got so many others who are here. Chicagoland educators and leaders that are here. Would you stand? Educators and leaders involved in Chicago public schools and schools in general. Come on, stand up. Don't be scared. Yeah, we're happy that you are here tonight. Hey, next, Kelsey Malnati of the Malnati Family Foundation. Okay. God bless you. Amen. I don't know if she's with the pizza place, but I was there on Sunday. Amen. We got to talk. All right. Together Chicago team members. Together Chicago team members, are you here? Are you in the house? All right. There we go. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Community organizations serving youth and schools. Folks that are organizers in the community, you're serving youth and schools. Will you stand? Come on, I see you. I see you. Thank you so much for what you do. It's a big deal. That support is necessary. How about faith leaders? Do we have any faith leaders who are here? Any faith leaders that are here? Stand up, Bishop. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Hey, thank you all so much. It means a lot. It does. It means a lot. Your support means a whole lot to us. And like I said before, we're in this thing together. Sometimes it can be lonely. Sometimes you can get a little weary. But when you got somebody walking side by side to say you are making a difference, you are making an impact, I think it makes a difference. So I want to stand here and celebrate all of you tonight for who you are and what you do. I appreciate it. We as Together Chicago, we appreciate the work that you're involved in. Okay, before I bring Damian Howard, the Director of Education Initiative, before I bring him up, we're privileged to hear two of our key partner organizations. All right, so first we have the privilege of learning about the Global Leadership Summit Next Gen and how we have partnered together to serve Chicago students. I want you to check out this video for the Global Leadership Summit Next Gen. Check it out.
And today, hi, my name is Abby. I'm with the GLS Next Gen, also known as the Global Leadership Summit Next Gen. And at the GLS Next Gen, we're all about awakening young leaders, and we're all about equipping them on their leadership, life, and faith journey. And so a lot of what we do at the GLS Next Gen is, the why behind it is that we see, obviously, there are a lot of issues in our world today, especially with our next generation, including myself. And so we notice that the time is now. And our goal is to impact students and the youth now and today. And so we see that through unlocking and untapping their leadership potential. And so with the GLS Next Gen, this past semester, back in about October, November, we were able to host Doolittle Elementary School. And Doolittle is an inner city Chicago elementary school, and so we were able to host a cohort of about 3rd through 8th graders, and it was awesome because we were able to see these 3rd through 8th graders kind of have a youth version of what would be the GLS summit, and so they went to the main campus of Willow, and they were able to sit through a whole day. They took tours, and they were really just insightful, and they took notes, and it was really cool just to see how they interacted with the leadership content. However, there was just something distinct about the GLS Next Gen, and for us, that's all about finding leaders like yourselves that can be teachers, pastors, any sort of mentor or coach, and we're able to pour into those students. And so we had 2 key administrators that you'll be hearing about in a little bit, and you'll be hearing their experience. And so what was interesting about this was that these key teachers and leaders and mentors were able to see their students where they are and meet them and say, hey, regardless of where you're coming from, what your background looks like, we see something in you and we want to pull it out and achieve something through you. We want to create a legacy and create something different and distinct in you and just walk out your calling. And so for me personally, as I've been a part of the GLS for about 18 months, a little over 2 years, personally, I've been given so many opportunities that I otherwise wouldn't be able to have if it hadn't been for the GLS. I've been able to lead worship across overseas in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I've been given opportunities to speak, and it was because I had mentors and coaches and leaders that were able to say, hey, I see something in you, and if I hadn't had that, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have the confidence to speak in front of you. I wouldn't have the leadership abilities that I'm still growing in. However, the GLS Next Gen really provided that for me. And so going back to Doolittle Elementary, we were able to host around 5 or 6 GLS Next Gen summits in the Chicago area. So we reached around 365 students so far this year. And right now we're looking at about 50 to 60 summits moving forward across the United States. So it's growing really rapidly. So in just a few minutes, you're going to be hearing from Joan, who is actually one of the administrators from Doolittle Elementary School. So you'll be hearing about her experience and her thought process of the GLS Next Gen and what the students were able to achieve through the summit. So if you'll turn to the screen, you'll be hearing from Joan.
Tell you how proud I am of you, and I am looking very much forward to continuing this work with you and our teacher leaders and with the staff here at Willow Creek.
My name is Joan Dameron Chrisler. I presently serve in the capacity of Principal Liaison at James R. Doolittle Elementary School. Our leadership cohort is comprised of approximately 37 students from grades 3 through 8, which is 8-year-olds through 14-year-olds. A couple of years ago, when Principal Jones and our culture and climate team at the end of the school year held a forum with students from kindergarten through 8th grade. And out of that, we got the idea that, of course, it's a given that student voice is critical. We participated in an all-day seminar that was planned and facilitated beautifully by the staff at Willow Creek Church in South Barrington. As a matter of fact, it was at that seminar at Willow Creek where our new school pledge was actually introduced. I believe in myself and my ability to do my best at all times. Today, I pledge that I will listen, I will learn, I will read, I will write, and I will obey the rules and regulations of Doolittle Elementary School.
So as you're able to tell, it was really cool to see just the impact that it's made on Doolittle Elementary and just how it sparks an interest in one school, and we're starting to see the multiplication of that. And so, like I said, we were able to host a Global Leadership Summit Next Gen in the main campus of Willow this past summer. And during this, we take content from previous Global Leadership Summits. And so with the Global Leadership Summit, we host around 500,000 attendees, and that's virtually and online through multiple different campuses across the U.S., and we're about in 87 countries right now. So like I said, it's rapidly spreading. And so right now, this past summer, we held the first Next Gen version of this, and so we were able to have Craig Rochelle and Shola Richards and a couple of key note speakers come and give some content. And so we're actually going to be hearing from the content from Shola Richards. And so after we hear from Shola, we're going to be having kind of a discussion Q&A like we would at a GLS Next Gen. So if you'll turn to the screen, then we'll interact with that in a little bit.
You know, when I think of the Next Gen leaders, and I think about what I needed when I was young, around what I could do to maximize my leadership potential, I was lucky. I got that lesson from my dad. My dad is from a small country in Western Africa, Sierra Leone. And if you're not familiar with that country, if you're geographically challenged, that's fine. If you've ever watched the Disney movie, The Lion King before, stop playing with me. You know you saw this movie. My dad is Mufasa, okay? That's all you need to know, that's my dad, which makes me Simba. I'll be king one day. However, the lesson that my dad gave me around leadership came from a moment when I was 14 years old. I was bullied a lot as a child. I was bullied because I had really crooked teeth and I stuttered when I talked. So after a rough day at school, I came home and I said, "Dad, I'm too small to make a difference in this world. I'm done trying." And I went to my room and I slammed the door like a brat. I just kind of marinated in my teen angst. Stop acting like you don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, as I'm sitting in my room, my dad called out to me in a voice I can do pretty well by now. And this was a powerful leadership lesson that stuck with me to this day. He said, "Shola," that's how my dad talks. "Shola, come here, boy. We need to talk." So I came out of the room. I was like, "Yeah, Dad, what's up?" "Shola, you said you're too small to make a difference. Is that correct, boy?" I was like, "Yeah, Dad. My girlfriend doesn't listen to me. My teachers don't listen to me. My basketball coach doesn't listen to me. Silence, boy." I was silent. And then he just dropped the knowledge on my head, man. He's like, "Shola, whenever you think that you are too small to make a difference, try to fall asleep with a mosquito in the room. I remember thinking like, Dad, I'm struggling and you're giving me these African riddles? What is this, Dad? And he proceeded to impart his leadership wisdom. He's like, Shola, listen to me, boy. When the mosquito buzzes by your ear, try to clamp with your hand, Shola, grab with your fist, stomp it under your foot. Can you sleep peacefully, boy? When the mosquito buzzes by your ear. No, Dad, I'm always trying to swat it and grab it. See, Shola! Even though the mosquito is small, it knows it can make a difference on things far greater than he. Go forth, boy! Be the mosquito! And he walked out of the room. That moment changed me. Next Gen leaders, I need you to understand what the power of that message means. It's so easy to think of yourself as small. Like I'm just getting into this. I'm just stepping into this. I'm young. Who am I to have anyone follow me? Who am I to start a movement? Who am I to think that I can change the world? Who am I to believe that I can inspire someone? Who am I to help someone who may be struggling? If you want to have someone lead you or follow you because they choose to, not because they have to, it's the realization that no one is too small to make a difference. If you really want to prove this in a practical way, you know this is true. You can literally go to someone who's sitting alone at the cafeteria and sit with this person and make this person feel special. You made a difference in that moment. When folks are engaging in bullying and making fun of other people, you can either sit on the sideline and be like, oh, I'm glad they weren't bullying me, or stand beside the person who's being targeted, or tell the other people who are doing the bullying to stop. This is a path less traveled, if I'm gonna be truly real with you. But all it takes is one moment. You don't have to be some person with 1,000 TikTok followers and the blue verified check after your name. All you have to do to lead is to step into this moment and realize that I am not too small for this. No one is too small for this. Every single leader who you admire started off with the decision that I'm gonna step in and go first. If you choose to lead, my challenge to you is be the mosquito, and you'll realize that your influence is far bigger than you ever realized. Go get them, Next Gen leaders.
All right, so now you guys were able just to kind of go get a taste of what the GLS Next Gen is when it comes to our content. And so what distinguishes us for GLS Next Gen is we want to be able to have the Next Gen youth be able to see the video content, but rather than just have a regular GLS experience of just sitting and then hearing the speaker, we want the students to be able to interact. And so I think that's a key thing, because we've noticed with the students at the tables when they're having those discussions with their peers, it begins to sink into their heart and they're able to engage. And so when the mind and the voice interact, we're starting to see heart engagement, heart transformation. So we're gonna have a couple of questions up on the screen now. And once we have those, I'm gonna have you turn to the person next to you for about 30 seconds and answer the first question. All right, so we're going to start to bring it back in. So from your discussions, I'm sure we'll be able to begin to see some of the kind of how we would do this at GLS Next Gen. However, this would be upon multiple speakers, multiple hours, and then we also have interactive information and for the kids to use. And so we're going to be hearing from one or two people from the audience to answer this first question.
Good evening. I was saying all that conversation and nobody wanted to say anything. I was saying I feel too small to make a difference when I look outside of my window and I see all the trash outside my neighborhood, and I start to pick it up, but as I begin to pick it up, just feel this overwhelming sense of defeat in the fact that I'll never make it down the whole block, and even if I do, tomorrow the trash is there again.
Right, exactly. Do we have one other person that would like to answer the first question? Awesome.
So I was telling Michelle, I never see a closed door and believe that I can't go through it and say hello to the people on the other side. But when I do look out over our city and I see the despair among young people, I feel like, come on. How, when I drop my pebble in, I know it ripples out, but we need a much bigger pebble. We need like a huge planet to fall in this current, and I think that's us together. But I'm not going to inspire the room as much as say I do feel small when I think like, man, I know that I can't make as big of a ripple as a we, so that's when I feel small.
Awesome. Yes, so just like you guys heard from each other, that's what would happen at a GLS Next Gen event. We would have a speaker, and then we would have a question or a panel, and then we would open it up to the floor to hear the students' experience and begin to create some leadership ideas. And so we have leadership activities, we have questions, and just different opportunities for the students to be able to collaborate. So we're very excited to continue to partner with Together Chicago and see where we're ahead. And like I said, we're about to have 50 host sites for the GLS Next Gen within the Chicago area and across the United States. And we're really excited when we hear from people like Joan Chrisler and also Shola Richards to be able to hear their input. So we're really excited for where we're going, and we're really excited to continue to work with you guys. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Hakuna Matata. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep it moving here. I'm enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying it as well. I can't thank educators enough. I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't even know how to walk. I wouldn't even know how to get oatmeal off my shirt if it wasn't for teachers. So thank you for all that you've done, all that you're doing. I've had some rough, how many of y'all have had some mean teachers? I know you're teachers, but have you had any? Twist the ears, Sean. Hey, I thank God for all my mean teachers. I do. I thank God for every last one of them. They refuse to let me come to class and just do busy work. Come on, somebody. You're going to get this work. You're going to make it in life. I'm already getting paid. That was their standard line. I already got mine. You got to get yours. Come on, somebody. I don't know if that was part of the curriculum or not for teachers, but I thank God for nice teachers, mean teachers that had a vision to say you can come out of where you're at to get to where you need to be. So thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, at this time, I want to invite a dear friend. This brother is not only the COO at Together Chicago, he's also an author. I count him a profound educator. He's a real servant leader, and I can't possibly thank God enough for Jonathan Banks. He's going to lead a panel discussion concerning our partnership with SEL Plus and our work to bless students and families across Chicago and beyond. Would you help me welcome my friend, Jonathan Banks? Yes, sir. All right. I need a mic? Okay. All right.
Recording. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. A little better? All right. Thank you, Willow. Willow's always on top of it. We were playing a little mic pass the baton in the back, so sometimes things get a little bit discombobulated, but I'm just thrilled. Beyond thrilled. This fundraiser is more than a dream come true. It is the culmination of amazing prayers and efforts and people just sowing their lives into serving others, and specifically through the field of education. These educators, these champions, these advocates are some of Chicago's finest. And of course, through our SEL Plus partnership, you've heard some of our statistics, the 383 adults that have joined the work and impacting over 3,200 students, but those are just that. They're statistics. Each panelist here played a special part in this great work, and as you listen to them share out, we're going to ask you to imagine if this work could benefit your organization, if this work could benefit your school in any way, because soon you're going to have an opportunity to let us know. First panelist tonight is Nancy Fernandez, who will be speaking on behalf of Hilda Martinez. Hilda creates lessons for our social emotional learning training and also offers translation and coaching for Spanish speakers. Let's put our hands together, please, for Nancy Fernandez.
Hello, I'm not sure if this is on. I think it is on. Yeah. Hello, everybody. So I am Nancy, and I am here on behalf of Hilda. Hilda works with Damien to create social and emotional learning lessons. She also is supporting our Spanish speakers by translating the content and offering the coaching. As a school counselor for over 13 years, I personally understand the importance of social emotional learning and how valuable it is to have the SEL Plus program in our schools. As a close friend to Hilda and someone who has worked with her on a professional level for 6 years, I'm excited to share with you all today. The SEL Plus training is offered to parents, school staff, and mentors who are empowered to offer emotional and mental health support for our Chicago students. Once a month, each of the focus groups receives coaching directly with Damien Howard. The parent training is definitely the best part of this work for me. The fact that this work is building capacity for our parent leaders is such a great bonus, especially when equity and access is seriously needed. Parents who are trained lead parent meetings in their schools. They can use the lessons created from Together Chicago's online course for their meetings. They also participate in monthly coaching, which helps them build their school teams of 15 parents. This capacity building work takes some of the pressure off of our super busy school administrators having to lead their own parent meetings themselves. Our parent leaders know their community, know their students, and having them share their leadership skills via the parent meetings is such a game changer. To wrap up the importance of the SEL Plus training and Hilda's work, I want to express the importance of the Spanish translation of each lesson, which helps build the capacity even further. Developing SEL strategies and growing SEL language is so very important for all of our communities. Together Chicago is excited to use this training to deepen relationships with the Latinx communities across the Chicagoland area. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Nancy. Hearing how Together Chicago is working with SEL Plus to build parent capacity, it's huge. This is not just a game changer. This is the secret sauce that makes education impactful for all of our students. As Together Chicago COO, of course, I share our collective, and certainly Nancy's collective desire to see our training and to see our impact go deep and to go far. I share your interest in intentionally deepening our relationships with our Hispanic brothers and sisters. I mean, as Michael said, this is not a north side, east side, west side, south side, Baptist, Catholic, Pentecostal experience. And, for those of you that checked out my picture up there, I may not necessarily be the darkest berry in the bunch, and oftentimes people will come to me and start speaking Spanish, knowing that I failed my German final in high school. Man, if I would have had Together Chicago in my high school, I probably would have soared and gone far and above. But our Hispanic brothers and sisters are essential in serving all of the communities within Chicago. So thank you, Nancy, for stressing that point. Our next panelist is, again, someone that I know very deeply and very dearly. I've known Reverend Martin for a number of years in my personal connection to Holy Family School, where I serve on their advisory board. Reverend Martin, of course, not only is he a teacher and educator, but he is really part of the glue that makes Holy Family the special institution that it is. Recently, Holy Family community was not only shaken, but there was just a horrific, horrific tragedy that happened at it wasn't really at their school, but connected to their school. I was able to visit their school and offer counsel and support for staff and students. Reverend Martin, would you please take us through what happened at Holy Family School and share your thoughts about your partnership with TC?
Thank you so
Let's
much,
give God
Jonathan.
praise for Reverend Martin as he comes, please.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. And I'm so grateful to have our CEO with us this afternoon, Mrs. Cheryl Collins. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon. Jonathan, you have exuded proximity. You have exuded presence since your connection to Holy Family, and we are truly grateful for that. And words can't express our gratefulness for that and for you. As Jonathan mentioned, recently a tragedy has struck us, and it's been extremely hard. On March 8th, the evening of March 8th, our physical education teacher, Mr. Joseph Stokes, and one of our second grade parents, Mr. Dewan Thomas, they were both killed as a result of senseless gun violence. Both of them best friends, Mr. Thomas, a Navy veteran, and it has truly shook our entire school community, our board members, our staff members, our community partners, our teachers, our students, our parents. On the 9th, we notified our entire school community of the tragedy. And that very following day, that next morning, Jonathan was present. And at that particular time, I was going from classroom to classroom, monitoring the counseling sessions that were happening with our students. And when I came down to the main office, Jonathan was in Dr. Smith's office, our principal, with Jalen Stokes, who is the son of Mr. Stokes. And we questioned Jalen, and we asked Jalen, why are you here today? And Jalen, he stressed that his dad would have wanted him to be in school. And so, Jonathan, you were so instrumental in that moment because with the help of Jonathan, Jonathan was able to get Jalen on a trajectory where he could make it through the rest of the school day. We're having a special chapel service tomorrow, and so I solicit your prayers. You know, one thing I know about losing a loved one is that life is never the same again. But the good thing about our God is that he gives us the grace to make it day by day. And so this has certainly been a process for our entire school community, and it's going to continue to be a process. But when you talk about that village of support, those wraparound services is just so important. It is so imperative. I've had the pleasure of connecting with Damien in the back there, and I'm just so excited about our future partnership. Damien has been right with us, explaining the Together Chicago program to our administrators. Damien has visited our school. Countless emails I've sent Damien asking questions, and he's been right there to answer each and every one of them. And so our plan was to actually introduce the Parent Champions program to our school community this school year, but because of the tragedy that we're still dealing with, we decided to hold off on that and implement that program within the coming months. But we're just so excited to partner with Together Chicago. We're so excited about the Parent Champions program, and we're just excited about the work that lies ahead. And thank you so much for your time.
Holy Family School is an amazing school. It's a unique school, but it's also a school just like every other school, where young people and families bring their most prized possession, their children, and those children bring unlimited possibilities. Along with those unlimited possibilities, they bring hope and love. That gunman tried to rob Holy Family School and those students of that hope and that love. But the way that I saw Ms. Collins, Reverend Martin, their entire staff, the principal, Dr. Smith, wrap their hearts around those students and show them love in an unthinkable tragedy, showed me again that hope and love wins every single time. And so I'm grateful for the partnership, allowing Together Chicago, allowing me to be a part of infusing hope and possibilities into those students, into those families. So grateful for Reverend Martin, for Holy Family School, and the connection that has been made even more hopeful through partnership with Together Chicago and Holy Family in the future. We're also grateful to hear next from Helen Buss. Helen, before the pandemic, along with 6 others from Park Community Church, offered after-school tutoring for 3rd graders at Mollison Elementary School. And by the end of the school year, all of the students from this class tested on a grade level higher than most growth in both reading and math in the entire school. That's what I'm talking about. We don't just train for performances. Yes. Awesome. Unless you plan on donating your Toyota Tacoma to Together Chicago, license plate 3294614, it would be imperative that you go ahead and move that Toyota at your earliest opportunity, which would be right now. But at this time, we are going to welcome Helen Buss to the stage to share about her connection with Together Chicago. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. I was excited, along with my husband, Brian, and Christabel, they were on our team, that our church, Park Community Church South Loop, was one of the models. We served as one of the models for the after-school time tutoring program. And we volunteered on Tuesdays for 3rd graders and at Mollison, like he mentioned, 44th and South King Drive. Kept in a lot of contact as well with Damien, as it was so new to us, and had a lot of questions, and he was there for support and guidance. Damien also asked us if we could provide pizza for the kids as a snack, so we were thankful that our church actually picked up the cost on that. And me being a mom, I had to make sure that we had some healthy snacks as along with the pizza. So we also had apple slices and sometimes carrots, and we served water, no soda. But we always had leftovers every week, and the kids they were excited to bring home the extras to their siblings, so that was really neat. Damien gave us some autonomy in terms of class flow and structure. So we started off with the snacks because we wanted to make sure that the kids got a break between the academic period, the day, and the tutoring. And then we actually, for the first few weeks, we had icebreaker games so that we can get to know them, they can know us, and then also that they could see a different side of us, a fun side, instead of all instructional and teaching. But we tutor them in reading and math, and the teaching was enhanced by an online program that 2 of the 3rd grade teachers had set up. And every student got a tablet to study off of, and it was actually like 2 students to 1 tutor pretty much the whole time. And so we had really intimate time with them. We can see what they're struggling with, what they're strong in, and the reading and math, actually, some of the questions were very similar to the state assessment test, so that was really nice that they can learn from that. We also provided flashcards, addition and subtraction flashcards, and helped them learn that way. We actually made it into a contest and made it fun, so the kids started competing with each other. And, to see who got the answer fastest. And it was nice to see them improve in their time. I think throughout the whole program, we realized that these kids have tremendous capacity to learn. The issue is a lot of them, they haven't mastered, the testing concepts. And many of them actually were really weak in fundamentals, which will carry them through to the rest of their years. But the type of success that we found with this program with Mullison, we felt that it could be replicated all throughout Chicagoland. So we're really grateful that we were able to participate and thankful as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Helen. Now, what you're seeing here represents part of the variety in ways that Together Chicago partners with local schools. There is no one size fits all. Every school truly has its own opportunity and its own challenges. And Together Chicago is committed to tailoring services to your organization. It's a ton of work, but it goes beyond work to really being a partner, and something that we've learned from other partner organizations, and that is there's no such thing as other people's children. There are our children. This is our village. These are our children, and we want to make sure that they have all of the opportunities and support they need to maximize their potential, both in life and, of course, with academics. And that's why, of course, thank you, Helen, again, for sharing out. You've just helped us see what can happen when we remove some of the barriers that arise with onboarding. It can make partnering with schools so much easier. And once our faith communities are in the school, we certainly see positive impact because of the culture of partnerships. Next, we are excited to hear from Jaleela Campbell. She's going to share out. She is a parent champion from Hope Learning Academy. That's one of our 4 schools that we have partnered with on the near west side of Chicago. In this area, we have street outreach workers that go and serve, that has been incredibly effective at reducing some of the violence in our communities. Crime is down significantly since our street outreach workers have been serving in this area. And Hope Learning Academy is an example of how Together Chicago works to coordinate our services. To complement our street outreach workers, we want to ensure that we are serving youth and families at the same time, because we know that it's not one silver bullet that's going to solve a community's issues. It's a multiplicity of approaches that complement for this amazing symphony of blessings that we hope to bring about. So this time we're going to hear from Jaleela Campbell. Let's give her a great big hand praise, because she's one of our parent champions. Thank you, Jaleela.
Thank you. This experience has been great for me, first and foremost. Not just it's also for myself and also for our school. When I first heard about it, I wasn't excited, because it's like, okay, it's more for you to do. I'm an interventionist. I do academic intervention, social emotional. I sub in for the clerk. I substitute teach. I do everything. So they're like, okay, we need someone to be a parent champion. I step up. I talk to Damien. I'm like, tell me straight up, what am I doing? What is this? SEL? We have a 30-minute block every day. What am I going to be doing? He said, well, we're going to increase the parent engagement at your school. You're going to be the parent champion. You're going to be the liaison between the school and the parents. And it takes a village, so we have to have the parents involved in the schools. So I'm like, okay. So I'm in. Good. We need that. So attending the coaching sessions, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, Damien. I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, all right, look, you got it. Come on back. We're gonna work with you. This is how you get parents involved. He said, just listen. I'm listening to other parent champions and how they're being creative and getting parents involved. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try that. Here's the incentive. We're bringing donuts. We're bringing in coffee for the parents to get them to come in. Okay, we got 5 parents. The next one, I'm not encouraged. I said, we only got 5 parents, 226 students in the building. What do I do next? He said, okay, well, next month, this is what you do. You start off with an icebreaker. You get the parents engaged. Follow the lessons, because they give us lessons for parent champions. I'm like, okay, follow the lessons, ask the questions. Okay, parents involved. He says, okay, put it on your school dojo. That's how we communicate. He put it on the school dojo that you're having meetings at this time, that time. I'm like, all right, Damien, this is happening. We got more parents in. There's 10 parents, then 15. I'm like, we got 15 parents in. This is a big deal. It's a pandemic. They can't come in the building. Like they can't come in the building, but they're here. They're still showing up. They're in the lobby. They're greeting the students every day. We're getting these parents in the parent engagement. We're seeing the students are more engaged. The students are showing up daily because they're being greeted and welcomed by our parents coming in. So at the end of the semester, the coaches coaching sessions are done, I'm like, I gotta keep doing this. Damien called me and say, Miss Campbell, do you have a parent that's in need of a car? I said, Damien, I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally just junked my car for $750. He said, well, you were the lead parent champion. We have a partnership with the Willow Ministry Car Services. He said, they'll give you a car. You don't have to pay for an oil change going forward. They'll do car maintenance. Amen. I just immediately cried. I'm like, I can't believe this happening. I have a Honda Accord parked in the guest parking lot. But the work we're doing at the school, the parent engagement, I've been here 10 years. And our parent engagement that's happening at the school, it's amazing. We have we call them the Families of Hope. They have a spring dance happening May 13th. The parents are involved. They're here. They show up. If you walk into our lobby, you're going to see at least 2 or 3 parents greeting the kids every morning. Thanks to Together Chicago. Thanks to Damien Howard. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaleela. Thank you. Now, tonight, you're hearing a lot of praise about Together Chicago. Let me tell you, Together Chicago is not a perfect organization. But as long as I've been connected to Together Chicago, I've only seen perfect hearts that are willing to try and willing to try again and to stretch out. And as much as we're going to sing his praises tonight, Damien Howard is not Jesus. But you know what? He loves on these schools. This is not a job for Damien. This is a calling. And it is our privilege at Together Chicago, and you'll see this across all of our service areas. We're all in this together. We are all on the education team. We're all on the Justice Center team. We're all on the violence reduction team. We're all on the economic development team. We're all on the faith community mobilization team. That is who we are, not because we're perfect, but because we refuse to not try. We refuse to not pray. We refuse to sit back and see, negative forces destroy our communities. And we believe in our parent champions. We believe in our partner schools. We believe in those that sow into our other schools. And we are just grateful for their partnership. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're also grateful because Together Chicago has partnered with the Department of Family Support Services to offer out-of-school time support in Grand Boulevard, Austin, and Inglewood. Our Inglewood partner is the Montessori School of Inglewood. Unica is one of the teachers running our after-school program. She's also a singer and an entrepreneur. Woo, woo. All right, Unica, please share with us a little bit more about your partnership with Together Chicago.
Thank you. Well, I am absolutely inspired by all of the work that's going on and inspired by Damien whoop, whoop, and Dr. Amani, who has been there for us, me and Miss Crystal in the back, Miss Crystal Wave. She is our other teacher and leader. So we're in Inglewood, and in Inglewood as teachers, we always feel like there's not enough time. When you have students who deal with trauma on a daily basis, who are dealing with incarcerated parents, dealing with gun violence, domestic violence, and the countless numbers of other issues, it's never enough time. And it's always a situation where we have students around the clock that are calling on us to counsel them, to pray, and things of that nature. And even in school, a lot of times you'll have students who have interrupted days because they're triggered by certain things. I want to give a testimony of one of our students who was at the start of the Together Chicago program, who had a total transformation. This young lady, while she was at home with her family, there was a home intruder. Her brother, she actually opened up the door because it was someone who was familiar to her family. What ended up happening is her brother and her sister were shot, as well as her mother, as she hid under the bed. Her brother and sister passed away. Her mother survived. I believe her mother was shot 5 times, and she was there under the bed. Of course, this affected her education. It affected her mental stability, and she had to come to school every single day and hold that burden as a 4th grader. And at the time, there was not a lot of social emotional support. You know, sometimes when you're in Inglewood and you're dealing with a whole body of students who have similar traumas, it's a constant battle to just minister to them and bring about healing. And so when I came to the school, this young lady was triggered constantly. A truck would roll past and she'd be like, ah, you know. A balloon would pop at a party and she would just crawl up and she would run down to my classroom, and I always felt like it's never enough time. So one of the things that this partnership allowed us to do is have more time with these students, more time outside of the school to be able to be there for them and find out what they're interested in. So the discovery we made with this young lady is she was an exceptional artist. And I remember one day after school when we were doing the program, after they ended the education section, she came down to the art room and said, let me show you some of my art. And we had an opportunity, because we were allowed more time because of the partnership, to show her how to use her creative abilities to help heal her and give those social emotional lessons through something that she actually was into. She was really excited, and she was able to sit there and draw and paint and kind of talk about it, you know, in a space that felt safe. And through that, she received the start of the healing that she needed to be a healthier person, to present herself. Her grades went up. She graduated, went on to art school, and is doing excellent. And thank you. So part of what me and Miss Crystal back there does is even outside of the school, we're able through the partnership to make ourselves available, resources available, because we call Damien and Dr. Amani all the time, and they give tremendous amount of support and resources so that we can continue to support our youth who are dealing with so much, and also break the cycle. Because that's a cycle, and if that mentality does not change, the cycle continues. And so it's so important that we have these resources that is just doing all this tremendous, tremendous amount of work so that we can hold that village up and do our part 24 hours, which we literally called on 24 hours a day. So thank you all, and thank you all for having us. I definitely appreciate this organization.
Really appreciate that, Unica. Thank you so much. We're glad to continue and deepen our partnership with the Montessori School of Inglewood, so thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask you to please check out the screen to hear from a group of boys that being mentored by Damien at Peary Elementary School.
I'm a scholar at Peary Elementary, and at Together Chicago, we learn about peer pressure, manners, and keeping people comfortable. Peer pressure is when you pressure someone to do anything. It can be good, it can be bad, or it can be even worse. Staring at them, you're not all up in their face.
One thing I learned from Together Chicago is don't do peer pressure. Peer pressure is bad. It can get you into a lot of bad things. Don't do drugs, and number one, don't get into no fights. One thing I do in Chicago, mentoring, one thing I get from the experience, I get to get a lot of stuff off my chest and learn how to be a young black man in Chicago.
I learned to be respectful, responsible. We've been playing basketball, and that's good exercise before we start. We get that energy before we start talking.
Love that. Before I did a lot more work with education advocacy and education activism, I used to think that I loved kids. Now I know that I just really, 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 really like kids. No, actually, sorry for the small attempt at humor. Of course, we love all of our kids because they really are our kids. And for every mentor organization, school leader, person of faith, business owner here, you can support our social and emotional development, our mentoring and our tutoring work taking place at your local school. If needed, we offer training and coaching to support our partners through this process. Our models and our programs, they're stronger than ever, and now is a time when we can maximize that impact by partnering for this work. And at the end, when you complete our survey, make sure that you select social and emotional learning and mentoring to learn more about the amazing things that were shared here today during this segment. So let's please give another round of applause for all of our panelists of our SEL Plus program. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're now going to transition to the last part. You guys are hanging in there strong. Don't get tired. We're almost done. We're going to have a blessed finish. Thank you so very much.
Wow, that was incredible. Come on, let's show them some more love, everybody. Churches, I think, are pillars in community, and churches have to connect with schools. It's just a must. And so I've got a lady here with me who is with a wonderful organization. I want to say the name correctly. Yeah, it's School Connect. And so she's going to come straight out instead of video. And I want you to welcome at this time the CEO of School Connect, Tracy Beal. Come on, let's welcome her, everybody.
Getting kids a good education can be tough. Poverty, hunger, and fragmented families put kids at risk. Teachers and principals have to battle incredible odds just to give kids a chance. With a problem this vast, we need a solution that is focused. School Connect has found a way, and it's not complicated. The resources that schools need are all around them, but principals and parents may have no idea what their community can offer. For years, people have tried to get by with what they have or who they know. School Connect helps people build relationships with schools in their neighborhoods. We network, train, and coach diverse community partners in order to form strong, sustainable partnerships that transform local schools. We're creating an infrastructure of support. If several organizations in the community find out that a local school needs more notebooks and they all make a generous donation, that school will have plenty of notebooks, but might also have dilapidated sports equipment or kids that need tutoring. What if those organizations could connect before they help the school? Together, they can learn the school's needs, take inventory of their combined resources, and then pour their support into that school in the most efficient way possible. We're not here to rescue schools with basic donations. We're trying to create relationships. The strengths and challenges of every school are unique. Real change comes when community members pool resources and rally to invest in each other. The School Connect collaborative model has already changed the lives of thousands of students. The problem is vast, but the solution is local. You can bring this collaboration to your own neighborhood. Learn more at schoolconnectaz.org.
I started 3 years ago and walked into this school as the new principal, and we had one partner, and I knew that there was probably more support needed. We have over 1,500 students with 150 staff and students with great needs, so I knew I needed my village behind me, and it wouldn't be something that I could do by myself. I started reaching out to some different partners with business, with our community. Starting with 3 years ago, I now have over 30 people who have joined me in my efforts.
And the school had invited us as a part of the community. So guess what? We couldn't help but get on board.
It's going to take the effort and the work of everybody, from the little one, from the babies that are here, like motivating the rest of us to do a good job, to the oldest person that's joining us today.
And we're working to revitalize our area, revitalize our community, and bring new residents and new business and growth and prosperity to our community.
One of those most fascinating times, in my opinion. There are nonprofit groups in Sunny Slope. There are neighborhood association and business block watches, schools that have come together, and businesses that have come together, and they all have a common vision to make things better.
Recognizing a need, defining a direction, and rallying people behind you to go and accomplish something that makes a difference in your world.
We can't help to be here but to be here to be a part of this because this is good stuff.
We have several businesses here and organizations, Wilderness Tactical on Hatcher Road, and the Historical Society, Sunny Slope Historical Society, and also Honor Health.
It's actually just, it's like a barn building almost in the modern day where we bring in all of our faith-based partners, our community partners, and we just work together to better our community.
Are we ready to start working? Yeah. Awesome. All right.
I got to tell you, coming to Sunny Slope, there's always something happening, but today, wow, the people that came out, the children, the parents, community activists, it's fabulous.
Change starts with us. We see our children change, we see our families change. One family can change this entire community. It's benefiting our families, it's benefiting our community, it's benefiting the larger part because even our city is seeing the changes happening in Sunny Slope.
I want to do this for our children, the next generation who will see this and are able to pay it forward to the next generation. And so it's only timely that we all come together and make this happen.
We have new neighborhood groups that are popping up everywhere. We've got a business alliance on Hatcher that is raring to go, getting things done. And the most incredible thing to see is everyone coming together to support each other for one great Sunny Slope. And I'm excited to see where Sunny Slope will be in the next 5 years.
And over the years, we truly have been able to see a tangible transformation, which has been really amazing.
Children will thrive, our communities will thrive, our businesses will thrive, everyone thrives.
We have a group of people. We have people who believe that the change has got to start with us. And it's got to start right here, right now. And we've got a great thing going. We all believe that the better we are, the more successful our students, our future will be. And now we all have a belief that the better the community, the better the school, and the better the school, the better the community.
Y'all all right? Can we make some noise in here real quick, man? I need to get the energy right. All right, so thank you all so much for coming out and hearing us talk about our education initiatives with Together Chicago. During the 2017-2018 school year as a special education teacher, I'm at Crane High School. I literally hit a wall. I started to feel and sense that though I was having a tremendous experience at Crane High School, I love the young people. I think I had the energy where they can rock with me and we had fun and it was amazing. But I felt like, man, there's more in me, I believe at that time, hear this part, for Chicago education reform. Y'all hear that? Check this out. I didn't know what that meant at the time. I couldn't really articulate or give any language surrounding what Chicago education reform looked like, what it entailed, but I just felt that to the core of my existence that I was made to do something that can impact change across the Chicagoland area. And let me tell you why. First of all, shout out to Roy Patterson real quick for being such an amazing MC. Man, I just got to do this, otherwise I'll forget. My mom is in the house. My grandmom is in the house. Oh, much love to them. Y'all, my queen Sherielle is in the back. My daughter Gabrielle, can we make some noise for them? Don't shake your head. That's my queen. It happens because of her. Let me tell y'all, Tracy got on a plane from Arizona and came here. Let me tell y'all this. Tracy was supposed to have 30 minutes. I get the text to her on the phone like, Tracy, you got 10. And listen, in addition to that, I have this device that I just bought from Best Buy that is just terrible. So she's up here trying to work it, and she didn't make it seem like she was having a tough time, but I knew she was because things weren't advancing, and I'm trying to advance, and it was just off. Let's applaud Tracy just for being so amazing. Let's see. Man, we got Vondell Singleton from Champs Mentoring Organization. We got Kahari in the back with the City of Chicago. Man, it's just so many people that I should be calling out. If I missed you, y'all, I love you anyway, and just know that. So 2017, 2018, I hit a wall, and I knew there was greater impact to be made through me for the city. I didn't know how to articulate Chicago education reform. That's just what I felt God gave to me. And so when I had opportunities and invitations to go to certain spaces, and they had me stand up. I remember I was at Wrigley Field. They said, stand up, talk about what's making your heart palpitate. First, I had to look up palpitate. I'm like, okay, that's a little deep. It's just beat. It was like, what's making your heart beat? And I was like, Chicago education reform. Our CFO for Together Chicago, Mark O'Halloran, was in the room, and he heard me talk about Chicago education reform. And he said, Damien, we have a space on the Together Chicago team for somebody like you who's thinking about impacting positive change with education, with youth, and families across the city, and the rest is history. Let me say this. The reason why you all kept, Michael, are you close? Are you nearby? Thank you. You come out with me, please, Mike. The reason why you all kept hearing Damien throughout this entire presentation is based on the fact that for the 4 school years that I've been a part of the Together Chicago team, including this school year, I wanted to see, this is the theory that I was practicing all along, what would it take or what could happen if the faith community was mobilized to push into schools and serve students? So it was a lot of theories and a lot of models that I've been practicing myself, really trying to understand what does it take, what could work, and now you all hear me. We are at a point where we've concretized some stuff, where we've figured out some stuff, and the reason why we're having a friend raiser because now it's time to go. Now, what do I mean by that? Tracy showed us our model for adopting schools, and it's so simple and profound all at the same time. You look at that pie chart, and we see that pie chart, and you simply got to ask yourself, where do I fit on that chart? There's a local school down the street for most of us, and that being the case, we all have an opportunity to join that village of support surrounding those schools. So I invited Michael to the stage because I wanted him to talk about how Willow Creek Church is supporting not only schools here in the Bronzeville area, and not only is this site, namely the Chicago site, supporting schools, but the entire Willow Creek community is getting behind what it is that Together Chicago is trying to do. Go ahead, clap it up, Michael Goggins.
I don't know what got into Damien's mind when he decided to invite a born and bred Baptist to speak at the end of a program. I'm gonna be brief. I'm not sure how bright I'll be, but then I'll be gone, I promise you. So, as Damien said, we had a very simple mission here at Willow Chicago, and that was to try to serve a couple of schools. And the first school was John B. Drake Elementary School. Now, Principal Galladay and Assistant Principal Robbins is there. Raise your hands. It was a very simple process, and they thought I was crazy. I walked into the school, and I kept asking, how do we help? What do you need assistance with? How can we lean in? And then I went back, and I said, how can we help? What can we lean into? Because I'm not going away. And I didn't go away. And what we were able to do, and it's not that we came in with solutions. Now, Tracy, these are Tracy's words, I believe, not mine, is that we learned how to serve with and not how to go in and try to solve for. Hear me. If you're a faith-based organization or a not-for-profit or just a community group and you want to get involved in a school, I beg you, I plead with you, do not go in there with your list of things that you want to do for the school. Ask them what they need. They know what they need. They understand it. But what they need most of all is resources to make it happen. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. Just listen. Just listen. I have more than 30 years of sales experience, and one of the things that we learn over and over again is to ask very simple questions and then shut the heck up. The customer knows what they need. You have it. Just figure out how you can get it to them in a meaningful way. So that's the, thank you, Principal, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So before I get off of here, a belated welcome to you on behalf of Willow Chicago. We're glad to have you here. Most churches have auditoriums, sanctuaries, fellowship halls, whatever, that get used one day a week. That means Sunday. So if you're a church, if you're an organization, open up that space. Open it up. More than anything nowadays, open it up. There are schools, there are other organizations. We need to come together as a community, the community of Chicago, whether you're from the north side, south side, wherever. You need to come together. And I pledge to you, this space will always be open for you. Will always be open to you. Now, the other school, and I'm going to let our other principal speak via video here, that we partner with is Doolittle. You saw the liaison speak earlier. So it's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you for tolerating these, I think, 4 minutes now of me. But I look forward to seeing each and every one of you back here. Challenge churches. If the church hasn't come to you, you go to them. If you're a school principal or administrator, go to them and say to them, we need you. People love to be needed. It's just part of being human. So let's turn our eyes to this one last video here. Once again, thank you on behalf of Willow Creek Community Church. It's a pleasure to have hosted you here this evening, and we look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.
And we're going to make sure that you all have the opportunity to make that difference that I know you were created to do.
My name is Aisha Jones, and I'm a very proud principal of James R. Doolittle Elementary School. We have a very unique behavior health model here at Doolittle Elementary School. It's really a holistic approach to how we do school here. When I first came here 3 years ago, I noticed there was a lot of trauma, and the students just appeared to be either sad, aggressive, or angry. Our students knew how to communicate, but they didn't know how to communicate verbally. They knew how to communicate with their bodies.
It's my job to run around with the mirror for you guys to remember who you are, remember who you serve, and remember your worth and value. You guys are incredible. You guys are powerful, and you guys are leaders.
We have children that now request restorative conversations with their peers, they request restorative conversations with their teachers, and they're advocating for what they really need and want throughout the day. We're bringing in electives next year, which I'm so very proud of, listening to our students. And part of that leadership cohort, our students said that they needed more. They wanted more at the school. We have 10 electives that we are bringing in, incorporating into our school day next year. And it's expensive. In order to run a culinary program next year, it's going to cost money.
It's about really tapping down in your soul, in your spirit, that thing that you really want to do and become, and taking the first step.
On you all's program, you have a QR code. I need everybody, please, to do your best to access that QR code. I believe we have some paper copies for folks if you cannot access the QR code for any reason. Once you access that link that is available via the QR code, it's just friendraiserresources.com, friendraiserresources.com, if for whatever reason the QR code isn't working. Once you access that QR code, I want you all to go ahead and fill out the survey. We're going to finish up with you all filling out that survey. So even if you want to put your camera phone to the screen here, you can get access to that survey. Let me talk about that survey as you all are taking advantage of this opportunity. That survey affords you all an opportunity to let us know what piqued your interest. When you were hearing about Global Leadership Summit, as we were talking about social and emotional learning work that we're doing, and most importantly, when you all saw the model of School Connect, which literally says everybody can play the part of that village of support to serve the school right down the street. And hear this, just in case you missed it earlier, Together Chicago is going to help you through that process. This is an example of what we call a catalytic event. The next event that we're going to have is actually our Love Our Schools Day, whereby you all are going to serve meals or do service events in schools, simple things that we can do to love on the schools right down the street from us. I just wonder, by the showing of you all hands, I know you all are doing a survey, who believes that you have it within you to do a simple service project in a school within your area? I just want to see hands for people who think that they have the ability to do that. That was almost 100% of you all in this space saying that we can do this work. Imagine what is going to occur when this work is happening across the city of Chicago. That is the work that we're mobilizing toward. I'm so thankful for friends like Sean Proctor, Christabel, and others who are in the room who are helping me to get to this point of executing this work. If you're a part of an organization and you're still trying to figure out what's my space with this, literally fill out that survey. Let us know, again, what piqued your interest or what questions you have, and myself or my team is going to be in touch with you. All right? Thank you all so much for coming tonight. This was amazing. All right, this was one of our first events post-pandemic. We're just going to continue to build upon this with the catalytic events that are coming up. One more time, can we clap for Together Chicago as well? We're doing, the organization is doing amazing work across the city. Now, I asked Michael to stay here because Michael is going to pray. And then as soon as Michael prays, we're going to hear a special a cappella selection from the Montessori School of Inglewood. And that will be the end of our program. I just want to make sure that you all are clear on the fact that everybody, 100% of you all, need to fill out that survey. Because this is called a friend raiser. And the only way that we can get really more knowledgeable of who you are and how we are to be friends is by you filling out that survey. Is that clear? Michael, pray, please.
Dear Lord, we come to you with bowed heads and humbled hearts. John 14:14 says, you may ask me for anything in my name, and I will do it. And I will do it. Dear Lord, we acknowledge what you've done for us already in this city, the opportunities that you've presented us with, because we're privileged to have those opportunities. Some of us may call them challenges. I chose not to. But we thank you in advance for leading us to schools that we can join hands with one hand, and reach out the other one to you, so you may guide us. So you may tug us when we need to be tugged, when you walk beside us when you need to be walking beside us, and kind of push us when we need to be pushed a little bit. We acknowledge your presence here. We acknowledge your presence in each and everything we do, and we just ask for your guidance for each day going forward. We ask this in your Son, Jesus' name, and all that agreed said amen. Amen. Amen.
Some people say we are not strong, but in our minds and in our hearts we are invincible. We are invincible. Sometimes we think we are powerless, but deep inside we feel bright. Sometimes we think that we are alone, but we have a friend inside. And we all know that we are bold and no one is gonna take us down. We are bold, we are strong and full of hope, and always find a way. And at the end of the day, we are invincible. We are invincible. Some people say we are not strong, but in our minds and in our hearts we are invincible. We are invincible. We are invincible. We are invincible. Go. If you look inside of your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. Then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you.
Yo. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check, mic check. There we are. All right. Diane, do you know if we have the coins? All right, so we have these coins that specially represent togetherness, that specially represent the village concept. Each of you all on the way out, we should have enough for 100% of you all. Make sure that you get one of those coins. Thank you all so much. I know we went a little bit over time for sticking around the whole time, but that was special, and I needed you all to see those babies sing that song. Peace out, good night, take the service. See ya.
If I was meant to win the race,